Baleba will change everything for United. Finally, the midfielder we've been waiting for.
Everyone on the edge of their seats. Coco Wood! A shot to nothing! That means everything!
For too long, Manchester United have been searching for a heartbeat in midfield. Someone who can anchor the chaos, dictate the tempo, and inject raw power into every battle.
Baleba wants it back, and here he is, Baleba. Williams with him, and Baleba has twisted and turned so that Williams has fallen over.
And now they have him. Carlos Baleba is not just a signing, he is a masterstroke.
Super happy with the transfer window. Mbeumo, Cunha, Baleba, also the addition of Diego Leon as a left wing back, but obviously, Cunha, Mbeumo, Šeško. I already included Baleba, but is Cunha, Mbeumo, Šeško, and Baleba is the top target now. So what Ruben Amorim said, super happy with the market so far, but internally he feels if Man United can bring in a midfielder and maybe a goalkeeper, that will be a fantastic window.
Under Ruben Amorim, United are building a machine, and Baleba is the engine. At just 21 years old, he brings a blend of power, precision, and intelligence that feels almost unfair.
Manchester United, what is happening? I thought you were broke. I thought you didn't have money now. Baleba! Hey! Jesus. See, this is the first sign Man United is making that I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared. Forget Šeško. Cunha and Mbeumo, good signings too. Premier League proven, yes. But you see Baleba. I've been saying Man United need a midfielder. They need a midfielder. What?
He's built like a wall, moves like a sprinter, and tackles like every ball is life or death. This is not just about stopping attacks, it's about launching them. Baleba can receive under pressure, spin away from his marker, and in a single stride, turn defence into a counter-attack. He doesn't just break lines, he shatters them. In Brighton, he was already bossing games against seasoned pros twice his age. His aggression isn't reckless, it's calculated. His passing isn't safe, it's surgical. And his presence isn't quiet, it's commanding. Think of Roy Keane's fire insert, Rodri's control, and a young Yaya Touré's drive, all fused into one relentless midfielder. That's the energy Baleba will bring to Old Trafford. Amorim could have the perfect balance, a destroyer who creates, a creator who destroys. With Baleba locking down midfield, Bruno Fernandes can roam free, Kobbie Mainoo and Amad Diallo can glide between lines, and United's attack can finally breathe without fear of being exposed.
You've nailed that.
They know how to press high. That's part of the game now, yeah? It's the ones behind enabling them to go and not look back, because the moment you look back as a midfielder or a forward, the moment's gone, they're out. If they're going confidently and they're knowing the boys behind because they're orchestrating it and telling them, you go, because I'm in here behind you, they're not going to get out, gives you a chance. Baleba, his biggest thing for me is being able to transfer the ball from the back line in our back area through to the 8s and the 10s. Yeah. Either driving with it or turning it and getting it and playing.
Yeah, that's what we don't have.
Yeah, that's what we're losing.
No, you've nailed that. When I look at our midfield, I do see it pressing high. And then I wonder why we're getting absolutely walloped on the transition. And you're right, yeah, you'd be the 6 in there. And that's where that extra player comes from. And just takes it back to that understanding of like a 4-3-3. You go in there, you do that, you stop that middle run.
Just stop the transition.
Oh, now I'm excited. I'm excited now.
Now we're fixed. Don't do that.
This could be a signing for the present and the future. A player who can dominate the next decade. A statement that United aren't just competing, they're coming for everything. And mark these words. If Baleba plays like this, no one will stop United.
Would make more of a difference overall to Ruben Amorim's team than Šeško or Cunha or Mbeumo. It would be the key, I would say.
If Manchester United managed to sign Carlos Baleba, it will be the best transfer window this club has had in years.
Baleba's a beast. He's still only a kid, he's still only 20. And the upside is huge. As I say, he's already a beast.
After bringing in Matheus Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, Diego Leon and Benjamin Šeško, the masterpiece of Ruben Amorim would finally be complete with the arrival of the Cameroonian powerhouse. Because even though all the headlines have been about United's new £200 million attack, the truth is that Amorim's number one priority has always been a midfielder, and sitting right at the very top of that list from day one was Carlos Baleba. Why, put simply, he's like Moises Caicedo but miles better. According to multiple reports, including Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United are already in talks with Brighton for their midfield gem.
But over the weekend, Manchester United maintain contacts with the agents of the player, so Manchester United remain in direct contact.
The club have approached the player, and Baleba's stance is clear. He wants to go to Old Trafford.
Baleba is not closing doors to Man United. Personal terms will not be an issue. That's my understanding, and I maintain that.
Ruben Amorim isn't after just any midfielder. He wants a pure number 6, dominant, athletic, physical, and fearless.
What kind of player is he? How would he work at United?
I mean, Baleba he's the Premier League gold standard for defensive midfielders not in the top 6.
And he's only 21, isn't he?
Yeah. So one thing that is seemingly becoming very, very, very important in Premier League recruiting is everyone's getting bigger, everyone's getting taller, everyone's getting rapid. Baleba is good because he is hugely mobile. So we're talking about, to use the proverbials, he's a ground eater, he's a shin kicker, he's a very good pressure valve because when the ball does come back, he can sweep it up and he's very good at sweeping up, he's very good at understanding, oh, hang on, we might lose the ball, why? I'm going to just take a step back here. 4 of you are going to be ahead of the ball, but I need to stand here and stand in certain areas. Very, very good at that delaying thing as well.
And right now, the number one profile in the Premier League that fits that bill is Carlos Baleba. United want this deal to happen because Baleba isn't just another signing. He could be more decisive than Šeško, Cunha and Mbeumo combined. He is the missing piece that could unlock Amorim's entire system, turn United's midfield into an unstoppable wall, and transform this team from dangerous to terrifying. And in this video, we're going to explain exactly why. The blueprint for Manchester United's rebuild under Ruben Amorim is now crystal clear, with Matheus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo and Benjamin Šeško already with the Red Devils. United have loaded their attack with pace, power and precision. But more importantly, these signings reveal a pattern. Amorim wants athletes, players who can dominate physically as much as they can technically. That's exactly why Carlos Baleba is at the top of his wish list. The Brighton midfielder, only 21 years old, plays like a force of nature, relentless in his pressing, fearless in duels, and covering ground as if the pitch were his personal territory. He would bring a level of energy and control to United's midfield that they simply don't have right now. At Brighton, the expectation was that Baleba's big move would come next summer. United clearly don't share those doubts. In fact, they're trying to strike before the inevitable bidding war begins. The challenge: Brighton have no intention of letting him go easily. With 3 years left on his contract, they would expect a fee close to, or even higher than, the £115 million they banked for Moises Caicedo in 2023.
And if you're wanting to get the next Moises Caicedo, you could do a lot worse than getting Baleba. Unfortunately, Baleba is probably going to cost a similar fee.
That means United need funds. Chelsea's interest in Alejandro Garnacho could provide some...
Well guys, I can tell you that according to my information, Chelsea have an agreement with Alejandro Garnacho on personal terms. So personal terms for Garnacho are agreed. Done. It's okay. Garnacho only wants to go to Chelsea.
But even then, this deal will be a test of how much the club is willing to push to get the player who could redefine their midfield. After United's pre-season clash with Leeds, Ruben Amorim didn't sugarcoat it. The message was crystal clear. We had a lack of pace, especially in the middle of the park, he admitted, almost as if he were publicly laying down the profile of the player he's still missing. On paper, his 3-4-2-1 system offers flexibility when United have the ball, but it also comes with a demanding reality. When possession is lost, the two men in the heart of midfield are asked to do everything at once: close spaces, win duels, block transitions, and carry the ball out under pressure. That level of responsibility isn't for just any midfielder. It demands someone who can shift seamlessly between destroying and creating, all at top speed.
One thing that's also good about him, one thing I'm really interested about Baleba is he's got a good switch. It's a bit like Caicedo in that he's very clearly a better passer than how he's currently passing. And I think it's one of those things of no one's really asked him to push the boat out and go like push your passing to the limit because we've got someone else next to you. But there have been 2 or 3 times last season where Baleba's getting on the ball like, okay, best way to progress is 30-yard switch. I'm like, oh, you can do this. You just don't like to do it, or you've not really been asked to do it.
And right now, United don't have that complete profile. Kobbie Mainoo is still fighting to cement his starting spot. Toby Collier's role in the squad remains a question mark. Manuel Ugarte is a defensive wall, but offers little in progressive play. Bruno Fernandes is a genius with the ball, but leaves spaces behind when defending. And Casemiro, even with all his experience, no longer has the legs to patrol every blade of grass over a 60-game season. That's why Amorim's eyes keep coming back to one name, Carlos Baleba, a midfielder who can do it all. Last season was the year Carlos Baleba stopped being just a prospect and became Brighton's heartbeat. Only Jan-Paul van Hecke and Bart Verbruggen saw more Premier League minutes in 2024-25. A ridiculous level of trust for a 21-year-old in one of the most demanding leagues in the world. And when you look at Manchester United's current midfield picture, that reliability becomes priceless. Just to put it into perspective, Bruno Fernandes played the same number of league matches as Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainoo, and Ahmad combined. Baleba doesn't just show up, he dominates the battles that matter most. When you break down his data and compare it to midfielders across Europe's top 5 leagues, one thing jumps off the page. This is a player who thrives in the chaos of defensive duels. His front foot defending ranks in the 88th percentile, meaning he's always the first to step in and shut down an attack before it even begins. And when he goes into a challenge, he doesn't just contest it, he wins it, sitting in the 88th percentile for tackle success as well. For the last 18 months, he's perfected the art of ambushing opponents from the blind side, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce and rip the ball away, turning defence instantly into attack. These numbers aren't just good, they're absurd. They paint the picture of a midfielder who lives for the fight, who relishes every duel, and who would bring a level of aggression and control to Old Trafford that United haven't seen in years. When it comes to winning battles all over the pitch, Carlos Baleba is already operating at a level that surpasses anything Manchester United currently possess.
But clearly, when you look at Ugarte and Casemiro in the middle of the park, and you get Kobbie Mainoo still there, it really needs to be strengthened because...
Last season, his numbers in tackling success, dribbling duels, and even aerial contests placed him firmly in the top 25% of Premier League midfielders. That's not just consistency, that's dominance. What makes him truly special is that he's a rare blend of the two Brighton midfield icons who came before him, Moises Caicedo and Yves Bissouma. Caicedo was a relentless warrior, charging into every duel, chasing down danger like a man possessed. Bissouma, on the other hand, brought silk to the steel, gliding past challenges, escaping pressure with elegance, and always willing to unleash from range. Baleba combines the bite of Caicedo with the craft of Bissouma, and then adds something neither of them had, a natural left foot that changes the angles of the game entirely. His composure under pressure is staggering for someone his age. When compared to other under-23 midfielders across Europe's elite leagues, Baleba ranked among the very best at keeping the ball in the most congested areas of the pitch.
Spreading all those kinds of This is what I call a dynamic player, a box-to-box engine. He can tackle, he can intercept. He sniffs where the ball will be like a bomb. His ball.
Brighton fans, this isn't a surprise. They've watched him twist, turn, and power away from trouble with the confidence of a veteran, carrying the ball from the defensive third into the middle of the pitch in one explosive burst. That kind of natural, almost unteachable press resistance is exactly what Ruben Amorim craves for his Manchester United.
We need Carlos Baleba now. Brother, this summer, I can't lie, it's been a mad one. It's been a mad one. But Manchester United need to sort that midfield problem out and have a balanced team that now Amorim has no excuses and delivers next season. We've suffered enough. We have suffered enough!
In his system, switching to a back three means sacrificing a forward for an extra defender, and with fewer immediate passing lanes, the value of a midfielder who can wriggle out of pressure and carry the ball himself skyrockets. It's one of the reasons Amorim turned to Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen in deeper roles last season, searching for someone who could help the team escape the press.
As much as you've improved the forward department, if you haven't got the engine room sorted out to do all of the sort of donkey work and get the ball up to the forward department, then that's a problem. and that currently it isn't.
Baleba, however, offers that same skill set with the added bonus of raw athleticism and defensive bite. At Brighton, he even stepped in as a left centre-back when injuries and suspensions hit, showing he's more than capable of dropping into the backline, holding his ground and still progressing the ball from deep. It's a rare versatility, not just surviving in tight spaces, but breaking the first line of pressure with a burst of pace or a perfectly weighted pass. For United, that means two things: tactical flexibility when injuries hit, and a built-in release valve when opponents try to squeeze them high up the pitch. With Baleba in the side, Amorim doesn't just have an escape plan, he has a launch pad. It took Carlos Baleba less than 5 minutes at Old Trafford to announce exactly what kind of player he is. United, sitting deep in a compact mid-block, thought they had Brighton contained. No pressure on the ball, no real threat. Then Baleba dropped casually between his centre-backs, demanded possession from Van Hecke, and in one smooth motion, clipped an inch-perfect pass over the top. Kaoru Mitoma was away in a flash, burning down the left before squaring it to Yankuba Minte for the simplest of tap-ins. One movement, one pass, and United's defensive shape was ripped apart. That's Baleba. Not just a destroyer, but a conductor with the vision to turn a stale build-up into a goal in seconds. And here's the frightening part. At just 21 years old, he's nowhere near his ceiling. What we're seeing now is only the foundation. With Amorim's system to refine his decision-making and amplify his natural aggression, Baleba's potential is not just high, it's terrifying. Okay, they need to talk about the Dream United central midfield pairing. Bruno Fernandes and Carlos Baleba. Imagine it, Baleba's relentless engine and defensive bite locking down the middle, paired with Bruno's creativity and surgical passing.
Sorted out smartly by Dallo. Bruno Fernandes with an elegant turn and a beautifully weighted ball for Marcus Rashford. It's Rashford, it's Sancho!
It's a duo built to dominate both sides of the game, a balance of steel and silk that could make United's midfield one of the most feared in the Premier League. Just ahead of them, Matheus Cunha.
Auf Cunha, kriegt den noch. Cunha mit einer schönen Drehung, geht gerade jetzt die Luft vor. Wie macht der das denn? Weißt du noch,
and Brian Mbeumo.
Knows that he has the outball. What a pass! It's in towards Mbeumo. It is 4! A brilliant counter-attacking goal!
Would bring chaos between the lines, while Benjamin Šeško leads the line as a relentless number 9.
Given away here to Šeško for Leipzig. Šeško with a cannonball.
Flanked wider by the explosive Amad Diallo.
Over the top towards Ahmed. Can he get there? He can. Ahmed! It's in! It's brilliant! It's Manchester United!
And the dynamic Patrick Dorgu. This setup isn't just balanced, it's built to overwhelm. Casemiro and Manuel Ugarte would remain as enforcers and rotation options, ensuring no drop in intensity when changes are made. Mason Mount's versatility would make him the perfect utility man, capable of slotting anywhere across the midfield to maintain the tempo. If Amorim gets this combination right, United wouldn't just have a strong midfield, they'd have the most complete engine room in the Premier League. Baleba in Amorim's 3-4-3, offensive phase could be more than dangerous. In attack, Amorim's 3-4-3 turns into a vertical, high-speed machine. With Baleba as the pivot, United gain both security in possession and the ability to break lines with quick passes or driving runs that disrupt the opposition's shape. His main job is to pick the ball up in deep areas and link instantly with Bruno Fernandes, the creative brain in the final third. With Lenny Yoro and Aidan Heaven as defensively minded fullbacks, Baleba always has safe passing options then and cover behind him. This lets Patrick Dorgu push high from the left, linking up with Cunha to overload the flank. On the left wing, Matheus Cunha will thrive on Baleba's timing and precision, whether receiving to feet to take on his man or being slipped in behind to use his pace. On the right, Brian Mbeumo and Amad Diallo attack the gaps between fullback and centre-half, with Baleba scanning for those runs and threading passes through. Benjamin Šeško up top pins defenders back, creating pockets of space for others. He's also a perfect target for Baleba's long balls, which means United can go direct if the press gets too tight, or Baleba's best ally in long ball runs on the counter-attack. Baleba won't just recycle the ball, he'll dictate when to speed up, when to slow down, and how to pull opponents out of position. His ball-carrying forces rival midfielders to step out, leaving Bruno and Cunha free in dangerous zones. Against low blocks, he keeps the tempo high and avoids sterile possession by switching play quickly. With Baleba at the base, this 3-4-3 gains balance, creativity, and a ruthless edge in transition. Every turnover becomes a potential goal. And now we need to talk about Baleba and Amorim's 3-4-3 defensive phase. When defending, Amorim's 3-4-3 drops into a compact and disciplined shape. Harry Maguire anchors the back three, using his aerial dominance and physicality to keep the box secure. On either side, Lenny Yoro and Aidan Heaven hold their positions, forcing play wide and closing passing lanes through the middle. In front of them, Baleba is the destroyer and the organiser. He screens the defence, cuts off passing angles into the opposition's striker, and pounces on loose balls. His athleticism means he can step up to press or drop in as a fourth defender when Maguire is pulled wide. Patrick Dorgu tucks in to form a narrow back five when United are under pressure, while Amad Diallo drops deeper on the right to help Heaven against overloads. The wing-back's discipline means United rarely get stretched. Baleba's positioning is key. He reads danger early, intercepts, and immediately triggers the counter-attack. If possession is won high, he releases Bruno Fernandes or Mbeumo instantly to hit teams on the break. Against top sides, Baleba's press resistance is just as important in defence as in attack. He can receive under pressure in his own third turn and get United moving without panic. His partnership with Maguire is built on trust. Maguire commands the box, Baleba protects the space in front. In transitions, Baleba is often the first man to shut down the counter, using his pace to chase down runners before they contest the backline. United's 3-4-3 becomes a 5-4-1 in deep defence, with Šeško the lone outlet. This setup makes United hard to break down, aerially secure with Maguire, mobile in midfield with Baleba, and quick to spring forward the moment the ball is won. Okay, Baleba wants Manchester United, that much is clear, but making it happen will not be easy.
They weren't expecting Anthony Elanga to move from Nottingham Forest to Newcastle for 55 million. That has generated another 5 or 6 million in terms of a sell-on clause. So,
as we all know, United have a long history of struggling to sell players, and raising the funds for the Cameroonian could be a real challenge.
No, they haven't got the money right now, is the short answer to that. They've been able to do the Šeško deal really because of money that they perhaps didn't think that they were going to get this summer. They've managed to get Marcus Rashford out on loan to Barcelona.
Even so, for Ruben Amorim, this has to be the number one priority. Right alongside the signing of Gianluigi Donnarumma, who has practically been pushed to the sidelines at PSG. These two signings are not luxuries. They are vital pieces for the Portuguese manager's project, the kind of moves that could transform United from a team with promise into a team that truly terrifies the Premier League. And here at Goa TV, we'll be watching every twist and turn, because if United pull this off, the balance of power in England could shift overnight.